All right. We're very excited to have you back watching from JAG Real Estate Lifestyle today. And I want to introduce you to our sales manager. We call her Jackie G because she joined us a little over maybe 6 months, 8 months ago?
March 11th.
March 11th. So it'll be almost a year coming up here soon. And really started out as like an office assistant and then became my assistant. And then she and I worked together on contracts and learning negotiations. And I want to tell you a little bit about her because she has, she's bilingual and she also has cross-border experience. And this could be a great opportunity for a lot of our clients who are trying to get in at some lower price points to kind of look at investing in places in Baja. So, meet Jackie G.
Hi, everyone. Nice to meet you. Thank you so much for tuning in. And like Jason mentioned, I will be a year almost in March, and I'm just very excited to be part of the JAG family. And I have definitely grown so much professionally. It's amazing to have a team that makes you feel so welcomed, especially when you're walking into something that's unknown. I mean, I have done real estate, like Jason mentioned, in Tijuana. But obviously it's different culture, and coming into a company where it's just everyone speaking English, and then kind of like programming my brain to just speaking English and no Spanish. It definitely took me a minute, but I'm so happy to be here, and I'm so happy to have Jason as my leader. He is an incredible person, and I just love knowing that I have people that support me and that back me up and that are just so inspiring to me. Everyone on the team you learn something from them. And I think that's so important when you're an aspiring real estate agent, and you're looking for a team. That is definitely the most important thing, is how well you connect with the people in the office and the culture of the office. And that to me has just been amazing. And I have an amazing journey up ahead of me, and I'm very excited for it. So thank you for the opportunity.
Oh, no, we're so glad to have you. One of the things that I want to ask you about today, Jackie, just so people can get an idea. I know you've done some commercial properties in the Tijuana area. I think you said you'd done some properties down in like Ensenada as well. If you were going to work with a client who is from the U.S. and maybe they wanted a property in that 200, 300, 400,000 range, right? Just to kind of get their feet wet. What would you advise them to work on in Baja, or what areas would you advise them to search out that are kind of getting good rental turnover right now?
Okay. Tijuana is an amazing city, and I don't only say it because I'm from there, but I say it because it has a huge economic growth. And medical tourism seems to be the most scaling opportunity for anyone, even as a citizen there, but like people that are trying to buy investment properties. We know in San Diego prices are a little bit higher, and they tend to be a little bit higher than in Mexico. And if you have the opportunity, and I guess it wouldn't even matter if you're a binational or you have your dual citizenship, or even as a U.S. citizen, you can still buy in Mexico. And I would look at it as an opportunity to be able to make your money grow rather than just having it sitting in savings. I know some people might be a little scared because it's like the unknown. I don't know anyone in Mexico who's going to help me. There's definitely great teams out there. There's great companies. I speak for the one that I belong to still, is Remax Grant in Tijuana. They're just super professional, and they know what they're doing, whether it's commercial or residential. They have the opportunity to literally take you by the hand and show you the properties and explain the entire process. So I would just say, investigate who the team you're going to be working, whether you're hiring to do this, to help you with this. It's definitely a journey, but you want to feel connected with the agent that you're working with the company that you're working with. We know laws and regulations are a little bit different in Mexico than here. So there are probabilities where, scamming can be a situation, a concern, and that's totally understandable. But again, I would say do your research, do your homework, and checking who the company you're working with first. There's a little bit of everything. I mean, if you're a U.S. citizen that just wants to have your beach getaway home for the weekend, Ensenada and Rosarito are amazing places to look into for having your weekend home. I personally have friends that have bought in Rosarito, and they have an amazing time, and they go down there to surf and everything. So it's definitely doable. It's a an hour and a half drive, depending on the traffic, but it's not, hop on a plane and let's travel somewhere. Now, if you're an investor and you're just trying to get your money worth your ROI, I think anywhere close to the border is a great place to invest your money in. As you may or may not know, there's a lot of people that cross the border every day, back and forth, and because they can't afford to live over here, but they can afford to pay a rent in Tijuana. So there's definitely a market, whether it's medical tourism or just the people that are trying to cross and have work opportunities over here. There's a great impact where you can make your money grow. The
largest amount of people cross the border per day between Tijuana and San Diego in the entire world. Not just for work, but you're talking about, work, commercial, like trucks, shipments, import, exports. And the other thing that I don't think a lot of people really pay attention to is, since Mexico has good partnerships with a lot of other South American countries and Central American countries, they actually bring a lot of favor to the United States, because some of those countries can't afford to ship a lot of their exports to the United States, especially with the tariffs now.
Yeah.
So a lot of those countries will ship to Mexico first. And there's a lot of production and manufacturing in Mexico for things that we use every day. A lot of that got shipped overseas to China, but it's coming back. One of the most important partnerships that's happening in Mexico right now is a partnership between Japan and Mexico. And they are talking about building the same high-speed Japanese rail system that they have in Japan in Mexico.
That's amazing.
Which would also eventually filter into the United States in one way or another, because it's a great way for us to like watch what another country is doing, and what the type of investments they're making in those types of things. So that's what I'm most excited about to see coming from the Tijuana River Valley.
Absolutely.
Here soon.
I feel like a lot of people, unless you have a reason to go to Tijuana and you have a reason to be down there, other than just the tacos and the mariachi and the fiesta, all of that, it's amazing how much our economies contribute to each other, whether it's San Diego and Tijuana or vice versa. Both economies support each other tremendously. And whatever happens in the San Diego market, it's like a domino effect in Tijuana. And the same, right now we are seeing that rents have kind of lowered, and it's a little bit slower right now with like condos and all of that. And it's affecting Tijuana too. Like prices are kind of getting stuck. People are having to lower their sales. So I don't know. I encourage people to learn a little bit about Mexico and how it contributes. And I'm just very proud and very happy to have the ability to know both worlds and to be part of them. It's just, I have two options.
The best, one of my favorite things about the way we've been kind of working together too is, you took me over to the Remax Grand in Tijuana to view the office and to meet a lot of the real estate agents that live there and work in the area. And they do a lot of commercial, which is interesting to me because we've slowly started moving into commercial. And I've had a good time kind of hearing you talk about it, driving around the different parts of Tijuana so you can show me some of the properties that you've, like how you pitch them and all that stuff, because the sales process is not necessarily different. But I do notice that a lot of people, it's small families that own a lot of the commercial properties in Mexico, and not a lot of them are extremely, extremely wealthy. They just happen to kind of be in the right place in the right time, which kind of reminds me of like people who were buying houses in the 1950s and the 1960s. Like they were kind of jumping into the new housing boom. You know, the industrial revolution was coming into more of like middle class households and suburbs.
Yeah.
Like it was, you know, building wealth, building that middle class wealth. And I kind of see the same thing happening in Tijuana now, you know, for the middle, kind of like the middle families, but then they really get so much of an influx, a push towards the border for people who want to come to the United States that I think the medical tourism is a great reason if you're thinking about investing and you buy an Airbnb or you buy a rental property. That should be a target person because there are thousands of people crossing the border a day to go to the dentist, to go to, you know, get Botox, to go to plastic surgery. I had one lady that, actually not one lady, we had an agent in our office and she's made it very clear she had to go do some treatments down there for her cancer treatments because it was a, you know, not experimental, but it was a drug combination that wasn't necessarily covered by her insurance here, but she felt like it would help her.
Absolutely.
And I can't remember for sure, but I think it had something to do with kind of like stem cells.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing that they do down there. And that's, you know, those alternative therapies are really healthy for people, you know?
Absolutely. I mean, just as soon as you cross the border, you have New City Medical Plaza, which is the high end of TJ, Hospital Angeles, which also offers several different options for people depending on what they're looking for.
And the New City has a beautiful hotel attached to it and a spa attached to it, underground parking. You can walk from the border to New City too. It's not even that far
to do that. That they intentionally, you know, how they built that and how they developed that. It was like, we'll put a hotel because, you know, U.S. citizens come across and you don't want to have to drive God knows where in TJ and you don't know where you're at or Uber or this or that. You have Quartz Hotel where a lot of patients stay there. I know New Medical Plaza also offers, I think like a portion of it is where they have like a hospital, basically. So you do your procedure and then from there you're transferred to the hospital side and you can stay there during your treatment. Yes, cosmetic surgery is pretty big in Mexico as well. Always do your due diligence.
And dental surgery, big over there.
Yes,
a lot of people in Southern California actually are taking their pets down there now too for pet surgery because it's gotten so expensive here in the United States.
I just heard there is a service where it's a little van. I forgot the name of the company, but they literally come and pick up your pet and they'll cross it to TJ. They'll take them to the veterinarian and then they'll cross them back for you.
Wow.
And it's still so much cheaper than what it would cost you to take them to a vet here. So, I mean,
at like what, 3/4 of the price, right?
Yeah. Something like it's definitely a big save. I mean, there's options there. And obviously it's not for everyone. It's not everyone's cup of tea and that's understandable. But, you know, make it work.
Yeah, medical tourism's huge down there. It's a great time to invest. So one of the things that Jackie and I have been working on in the office is she's kind of taken the role of the sales manager. Yes. And I wanted you to talk a little bit about how your sales experience in Mexico has really kind of helped you be able to move into the United States. Kind of, well, not the United States, more like California, because ours is so strict with so many disclosures, you know, like 150 pages of disclosures by the time the transaction's done.
Yeah.
Talking about everything, you know, from if you're in a floodplain to if there's a gas station near your house that might have tanks underground.
Everything.
Yeah, everything is in the disclosures that we have to deliver here in California. So talk a little bit about the correlation between, you know, what you had learned in Mexico versus where you are now with what you've learned, and then how you kind of see the two benefiting other people or people that we work with.
Okay. I have been very fortunate or very blessed to have such good people put in my path of life. My broker in Tijuana, Claudia Oropesa, she has been such an amazing support to impulse me. I had never done real estate before. I had always been curious about it, but I was like, I don't know how I feel about it. So I ended up applying. I'll be 4 years in September with them. And it's like, again, going back to like having a leader that, you know, can actually lead and and push you to the unknown and to the scariness of it, but still knowing I'm here for you. Like, don't worry if you mess up, I got you. It's super important. So,
well, we mess up too, though.
Yeah.
Everybody messes up. I think
course.
anybody who tells you they
course.
don't make a mistake is not a person you need to be doing business with.
And it's okay to mess up. I feel like that's sometimes as human beings, that's what limits us, because we don't want to mess up.
Yeah.
We don't want to fail, but
accountability and ownership.
It's changing,
if you mess up.
Yeah, it's changing that mentality of failure. You know, it makes us better. What is the saying? You don't lose, you learn and you grow.
Yeah.
Right? You never lose. In any situation in life, you always learn and you grow. That's
and take accountability.
Absolutely.
If there's something going on.
Yeah.
You know?
But going back to like how it complements each other, I feel like being kind of thrown out there to the wolves, yes, it was scary, but also knowing that you have people that back you up and help you throughout the process. And sometimes it's the best way to learn. Like, you know, I mean, all these gray hairs that I got going on here is because Jason's like throwing me under, do this and that, but it's part of it. It's how you,
that's how you learn the business.
You learn, and you know, it's just, it makes you better all throughout.
I want to say too, most of the agents that have been at the office or that started with us many, many years ago, every single one of them started as my assistant. So, there's several of them that have moved on to work other places, over time. But for me, what I enjoyed the most about working with you is you're just like me. Like, you're not afraid to get your hands dirty. Yeah. If we need to go sweep or clean a property, you're out there with us. One time Jackie was holding somebody's legs while they were like leaning over to like clean something on a balcony. And we were like, oh my God, why are we doing this? But we got the balcony clean, you know, because the HOA wouldn't clean the balcony. And of course, we always get blamed for everything that the HOAs do or do not do. I have had clients so furious with me because the HOA did not disclose that there was something wrong with their gutter. I didn't know there was anything wrong with their gutter. I thought it was because there was a tree that was dropping pine needles, and the seller apparently didn't put it in the disclosures that they had said they wouldn't clean the gutter because he didn't know. Like, there's all of this kind of stuff, you know, and then what happens is something goes wrong. Yeah. So I don't know how I got off on that tangent though. We were talking about.
You're good.
Yeah, go ahead. I don't know, got off on that.
But kind of go back to that.
Yeah.
What you do in this business is crazy. TJ had me the first week, I think, kind of like on my knees and like trying to like scrape little things off or like color, like just trying to fix the problem or the situation, just trying to make it better. I was like, what? I didn't sign up.
Wait, was that when we had to go to the client's house, and because the flooring was like laminate flooring, but it was the old laminate flooring from like the maybe 99, 2006 or something. And it was peeling because people use water on those laminate flooring and you're not supposed to. Yeah. So all of it was peeling up, and the owner didn't want to replace the flooring.
So you find a way.
So we painted it, and it looked great for the next tenants. We painted it for the next tenants, and it looked great.
Yeah.
Got some wood markers and went to town. Yeah. Well, you painted it. You and TJ painted it.
Yeah, we were underneath. You got to do what you got to do to make it work, you know, get the job done. And I think that's super important. But kind of going back to what we were talking about, like you were mentioning how the Remax and like JAG, or how did Remax prepare me to come?
Right. Like, how did you feel? Basically, just like, do you feel like you already had the basis, even though it was going from one country to another, and then it kind of built from there? Or even if there's anything you like that they do better,
absolutely,
that we could do better on?
It was definitely a very different system. Remax does have like an in-house lawyer that does all of the contracts, and then you as an agent just have to like review it and make sure that the information matches your client's information.
So they're not an escrow state. They don't do escrow down there.
We don't have escrow in Mexico.
There's a lot of states in the U.S. that do.
Honestly, now that I am so much in and I know so much more, I like the structure and the discipline of it. I think it makes it work better for everyone, because if not, then you have people doing fraud and people running away with people's deposits and all of that. So it's definitely good, but yeah, I mean, it definitely prepared me to come here with a different mindset, a get it done, find a solution mindset. There's no time to, I don't want to say fail, but no time to waste, no time to give up. If you're having an issue with something and it's taking time to learn, find the right people, be okay with asking for help. And I've definitely learned that, the hard way. 'Cause there was days that I would literally just sit in front of the computer and cry because I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. But at the end of the day, I feel like real estate, being a realtor, a real estate agent, is having the ability to, one, be okay with failure, be okay with hearing no, and not taking it personal in a way, but still wanting to get better at it and still wanting to prove to yourself that you have the ability to learn or take whatever skills you need to get to where you want to go. I definitely think this pathway has shaped my mindset into a growth mindset. And the ability to talk to people and to understand different personalities is so important because in this game, you meet people that are going to tell you their life in like one phone call, and other people that don't want to talk to you. They see you as a threat. And it's like, how do you in those 2-minute calls or 3-minute calls find the way to make this person feel, I'm here for you. Like, I am not a threat to you. Like, I just want to help you. And it's okay if you're feeling scared because buying a house is scary, you know, investing is scary. It's the unknown, but it's also having a good real estate agent or a good person that's going to make you feel comfortable with the unknown, and let's do it together,
One thing too I like about what you just said about that, I know some people, I'll let you expand on this too. Some people out there believe that real estate agents like push up the pricing in the market, that real estate agents are only trying to get more money for their seller so that they can get their commission up. Like there's all of these kind of misconceptions. And I'm sure there are people like that out there, but we rarely make the 3% commission. Sometimes we get 2%, sometimes we get 2.5. Then that gets cut between you and the brokerage, plus all your driving time back and forth, plus all the marketing that you paid, plus the photography and the videos. There's so much stuff that that comes out of like what a real estate agent makes. And then especially right now in this current market, you instead of doing 1 to 3 deals a month, which is what we were doing years ago, we'll be lucky to get 1 a month right now, which is, not great, but it's where we are in the market and we've made adjustments. Do you feel like that's something that's similar? It's very similar across the border as well.
100%.
Yeah,
absolutely. And even kind of like the portion of it of like trying to retain your agents in the office has also been a struggle for other agencies, even in Mexico.
Yeah, this is not a part-time job,
It is not a part-time job. And I feel like as a broker, you have to be very blunt and you have to tell people you either have a savings account and you have funds in there to support you the next 6 months that you're going to be okay with not earning no money. Or you have a spouse, a partner that is going to financially be, your support in the meantime while you start your career. And that obviously has me personally helped me have, my husband that cares for my daughter and that like helps me be available to JAG and to my clients
also
and
working
and all that. Yeah.
Also working a full-time job.
Your support system definitely matters. But yeah.
It's good. It's good. I guess the final thing would be, what has been your favorite? What's been your favorite thing about working here, and what's been the most challenging for you? Because you are one of the newer people that we've had over the years. So
yeah. Okay. I mean,
and you can be completely blunt, honest. I don't want to hide anything from anybody.
Adjusting to like the system. Again, I'm coming from a different office where things, we had support in like the contract things or stuff like that were getting taken care of. I don't want to say it like it's a challenge, but it's just adapting to the different system. of how things work. Right now, I just finished my real estate course. I'm taking the crash course. So it's
to get your license here in California.
To get my license here, and just to learn so much information and laws and ethics and this and that. It's like, oh my God, like what is happening in my brain? Like it's just so much information. But at the same time, it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. You force yourself to grow. Yeah. And it's uncomfortable. And I have days where I cry because I'm like so frustrated, but I'm like right there. Like I see the tip of the mountain. I'm like, I'm working for that. Yeah. Like it's going to be hard. I know I'm going to stumble and take 2-3 steps back and then work back up. But it's just how it is in life in general. And being a salesperson definitely does not help. Yeah. But, it's fun. I love it. I think I'm very passionate about connecting with people. I think that's my forte. I love having conversations with people. I love networking. I love events. My husband would say I love parties, but I just love it. I really, really do love it. And
that's the part of the job that's the hardest for me too.
Yeah.
It's because everybody thinks I'm the most gregarious and outgoing and all of that, but I have to have like recharge time. Oh, like massive 100%. Recharge time sometimes.
100%.
Most recently, almost a month of just going from work to home. Actually, it was close to 2 months. Work to home to exercise, work to home to exercise.
Being disciplined.
Yeah, like not really going out to do anything networking wise. It's just because I could tell I was starting to get, worn down. Yeah. And because the business will wear you down. Absolutely. This business is very tricky. You can say or do the wrong thing in front of a client and they immediately don't want to do business with you anymore. That hasn't happened to me many times over the years, but it happens to everybody. Personality changes, personality differences, frustrations come out, But yeah, I think, if you just kind of stay centered while all the information is coming at you, because the information changes monthly in the business. Like sometimes we use systems and platforms. Most recently for us, our CRM was purchased by Zillow. CRM is client relationship management software, was purchased by Zillow. And Zillow sent out a booklet that basically said, if your leads, any of your leads that you put into this CR system are using an email that they have put into the Zillow system, then legally Zillow had the right to go grab all of our customers' data. Now you have to keep in mind, we're trying to build something here that's more like a boutique firm. So, we're trying to send presents for their anniversaries. We're trying to send birthday cards. We're trying to, send a bottle of wine or, a cheese tray or something when they're celebrating like the anniversary of their purchase. So we're trying to implement those things into our system, and we ask our clients for information. Yeah. And then Zillow says it can just come in and grab all of the information out of our CRM. So that was 3 months worth of work for us to switch CRMs, for us to kind of get things going again, making sure all the clients' data is scrapped out of the old system so Zillow couldn't get into it and get it before the deadline. I mean, it was tricky. Yeah. And it causes a lot of problems in the business, because if you're coming into the office and working in the CRM and doing the job, then basically it's going to take some time.
Taking it one step back to what you were saying, how this career can take a toll and, it's important to have a recharge. I just want to say, just be mindful. If you have a realtor, you're human. They're humans too. Like they're going through stuff and they still have the ability to put up a mask in this front of, how can I help you? Yeah. I love you. I want for this to work for you. So it's just like, be empathetic of others. There's already so much going on in the world. Just be kind. Yeah. Be kind. I feel like as real estate agents, you're not out there, to harm anyone in any, I think it's the complete opposite. You're in this career because you like helping people. You like that aspect of it. So yeah, just be nice, be empathetic, and we're always here for you guys.
Well, that is Jackie G. Yeah. We didn't show you the G side of Jackie G, but
you don't want to see the G
she
side.
Gets in with the paperwork and gets going with stuff, and she can make things happen. So we're super excited to have you here. You've been such a great addition to the team. Likewise. Thank you for letting me take a minute to introduce you to everybody out there. And finally, if you are looking in Mexico, please let us know. Jackie can try to find an agent for you anywhere in Mexico. She does great work. with her referral systems. We've gotten several referrals from Remax Grand down in Tijuana. Jackie and Claudia, thank you so much. And then, you know, we're sending referrals down as well. Hopefully some of you guys will want to be looking in Baja at some point. We can send you to Cabo. We can send you to Cancun. We can send La Paz is the new hotspot beside Cabo, if you don't know. And then Tulum is the new hotspot beside Cancun. So 2 hot investment places. And one other one that we're going to be pitching here soon is called Zipolite. And it is an up and coming one with all these yoga retreats. It will be the next Tulum. And they are building it out like that right now. So if you're looking for some great vacations, if you're looking for some great properties, just let us know. We'll be happy to find you one.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Jason.
Yeah, good to see you.
You too.